What was the grossest scene we've had to?
It's coming up. I think it's episode 6. For me, episode. The next one, Richard Spade directed.
Was it not the killing the hellhound over top of you with all the bucket of blood?
No, I have a weird thing with spit. Like, you could punch me in the face and I'd be like, what's your problem? If you spit on me, I'm gonna swing really hard. Or fight to the death. So I have a weird thing with, for whatever reason. You know, if you're bleeding, I'll be like, oh, I gotcha. You know, if you're whatever. But for some reason, the spit thing. As a matter of fact, there was a scene in an episode many years ago. I think it was like season 6 or 7. Where there's like a witch or something who's drooling or spitting on Sam. And I was like, listen, I don't need a stuntman, but I need a stuntman. Like, I can't do it. Like, it's just, there's something in me that does. For whatever reason, like, I probably should talk to my therapist. But there's something similar coming up where there's a lot of facial bodily fluids that come in contact with Sam.
Like standing next to him watching him talk to somebody, and somebody like projects a little bit of spit and it like lands on his face. Because then I'm like this, I'm like.
He's gonna punch him.
You're going down, man. I don't know why I had popcorn all of a sudden. But, hey, look, it just appears. Whenever somebody spits in your face, it's like, ooh, popcorn.
Spits.
Got it. Grossest. I don't know.
Probably the season 3. We get all the. Who wants to smell?
What the hell about you guys anyway?
What was your hardest death?
The hardest death scene was, I would, like from a like a logistical standpoint or from like an emotional standpoint. Logistical standpoint would have been the season 2. When did the hellhounds rip my chest open? Like I said, 3. That was just so incredibly uncomfortable, and now that, like, if we were doing that same scene now, it would be a completely different thing. It would be all computer generated. But back then, they did everything practical, so like all of those rips were actually little. were literally little threads that were sewn into the shirt and then yanked, and so the shirt would peel back and look like it was being clawed. My outfit or my costume was all plumbed with blood lines going up my pants and through, and so there was like this huge syringe of blood that was being pouring out of my chest. It was, and it's basically, what is it? High fructose corn syrup. What is it? Corn syrup? It's corn syrup. This is basically sugar. So as soon as it dries, this was Jared's toughest death, right?
I'm just remembering it.
That one sucked. I think that one of the hardest ones, though, was when Metatron killed Dean, and it was less tough for what I had to do. I mean, it was the "I'm proud of us" speech, but it was hard watching him go through what he was going through. Because I think because that's always tough. Like, I don't mind doing it myself, but when I have to watch other people like really get emotional and hurt, that's hard for me to watch.
It's fine. My 2 toughest, well said, my 2 toughest deaths to go through
and neither were really my death scene, but in season 1 or 2, when I'm in the bed and I'm dead and you're talking to my...
2, like I said earlier, 2.
That scene was hard, man, because I'm trying to pretend to be dead, and I can feel him, I can hear him going through what he's going, and I can feel him going through what he's going through. I'm a big believer in energy, and so I was laying on a bed trying to hold my breath, and he's sitting there, and I can literally feel Eklz acting his heart out, and I can hear him as well, and I'm basically like tearing up, trying to be dead.
You did too. I did. Yeah, he was laying there dead, and I'm doing the thing, and like my tears are like hitting the sheets, you know, right next to him, and I look down. And luckily it was the opposite side of camera. So camera was on this side, he was laying in between camera and I, and it was his right eye, like a little, I can see just like a little tear come down. And I saw that and I was like, okay, looks like it's working.
Yeah, so that was the toughest. It wasn't really a death scene, but I guess I was dead. And then that.
I know, gross. For me, the turducken sandwich. They did their best in making something that was edible. It's fine, it's not their fault. But when you have to repeatedly eat it over and over and over, it's like, then just the smell of it, it's just like, and I have another one of these coming up in this episode actually, where it's always me, where they just. Came to my trailer and said, we need you to sample some food for this episode. This is what is scripted. Can you eat this? And I'm like, well, what is that? And it was this bowl of just mush. And it was like ground beef and pork with cream of chicken. Cream of chicken? Yeah, I'm like, I don't know what that is. Sounds gross. Cream of chicken, and then there's like mushroom paste, and it's like.
Why do they rename this shit?
I don't know.
It's awful.
I don't know, but it's supposed to be like some sort of slop that Dean eats in this episode. So I'm looking forward to that.
So
It's gonna be awesome.
I tell Jensen this all the time. I'm like, listen. I tell Jensen this all the time. I'm like, listen. I'm a chess player by nature. Like I don't do anything in the short term. I do it kind of in the long term, and maybe he does as well. But I was thinking pretty long, pretty far forward when the show started. And so about season 6 or 7, he's like, why do I always have to eat stuff? Why do I always have to do the 2-day fight scenes? I'm like, well, when I had to do it like in season 1, I purposely messed it up. So. Because the writers watching were like, well, he's bad at that. Let's get to Jensen. Here's the difference, is... Season 1, I was like, this show's gonna go for a long time. So if I act really badly in season 1, they'll start writing me less into the show, and then I can have time off. And Eklz was like, gates are open, I'm running, I'm going. I'm like, do your thing, man, do your thing. And so he did, and now I get time off. I went back and watched this.
You didn't know how to shave when the show started. You were masterminding some elaborate plan to get time off in season 13.
I didn't know how to shave because I didn't need to shave.
Exactly, that's my point.